What is going on, YouTube people and fellow collectors of cardboard boxes with stop tape on them? Today, just a loose little chat about the current state of things. I haven't made a video for a while. Things on the sports card side of the world have been absolutely wild and crazy. Been keeping me busy over there, but wanted to touch base. Um, I did a video about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, that I had sold off probably like 5 to 10%, like closer to 10% of my sealed inventory. I ended up selling off a little bit more. The first batch that I sold off was around $5,000. I sold off a second batch around $4K, give or take. And Pokemon Sealed continues to be kind of in a weird place. The new stuff coming out is so I don't know if overpriced is the right word. It's just not worth the risk, in my opinion. I talked about it in the I Said No video, the last video that I posted in regards to Phantasmal, because I skipped it. And it's the first one that I've skipped in years. That, is the juice really worth the squeeze when the easy money is sapped out of the market, coming out at, $250, $260 a box, $280 a box? I think, I have it actually pulled up. Let me look real quick. Phantasmal currently sitting at $270 and continues to pull back. We'll see where the floor is on that. Mega has been performing It's been sitting at $250 and slowly trending downward. Phantasmal seems to be trending downward a little quicker. There's two amazing cards in it that everybody loves, and then the rest of the set everyone seems to be side-eyeing, but I'm not a singles guy, so you folks could tell me a lot better. But I don't want to say I am done putting money in the Pokemon, because that's not the case. I will pick things up at the right price and retail drops. I got a Charizard UPC at retail. I 100% bought that. I got some of those $25 Walmart boxes that they had like a week or two ago that had 2 packs of Destin, 2 packs of Surging. I forget what else was in there. They were $25 a pop. They're a retail collection box. I snagged like 10 of them. I think it was limit 5 per SKU. There was 3 SKUs. I got 2 of them checked out, and the third one sold out before I got there. But the pack mix was all the same, which is all that really matters. So those are stashed on the shelf behind me now. But I'm just not going to blindly buy cases at $250, $260, $280 a box, at least in the current environment. And prices continue. And I'm not like panicking by any means. This is perfectly normal. This is over the last 30 days. I have Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet booster boxes pulled up, and a quick scroll still shows a lot of red, mostly in the 10% range. Probably if you wanted to get a little more specific, probably more in the 5 to 10% range, with a few outliers at 10% plus, but not many. Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars, Paldea, Rebel Clash, Obsidian, that's it, are the only ones with a 10% downward swing. Everything else is 5 to 10%, and in some cases, some things are indeed up. But you gotta remember, we had a year-long hot market run, and it was only a matter of time until things cooled off a little bit, and we're kind of in that period now. The question is how much do they... There's a couple big questions. One, how much do they cool off? 2, in a cooling market, what happens if, what everyone is speculating, that Pokemon is about to drop major reprints on us at the end/first of the year? As many people have talked about, there is a wide gap between this set and the next set. The next set does not come out until late January. It's a specialty set. People seem mixed on it. The box art was a little questionable from what I saw, but I don't know a ton about it. I haven't had time to dig into it. But there's a wide gap between releases, and the theory is that they are gearing up the printers to basically blitz essentially Surging Sparks on upwards, because the earlier sets are basically rotated out almost at this point. And the thought process being that they're essentially going to carpet bomb like Surging Sparks and Destin and Black and White and Journey and Mega Evolutions and probably Phantasm. Those sorts of things are going to get just tons of supply dumped onto the market, and nobody knows if that's actually going to happen or not. At least nobody on YouTube knows. Everyone's just speculating on that. And what would that do to an already cool market, if you will? I know one thing. Where is it at on this list? Surging Sparks is down to 235. I'm telling you right now, if they drop a massive reprint of Surging Sparks onto the market and it tanks prices down to MSRP or lower, I will be buying again. 1000%. Just the whole system has basically been broken for the last year for your normal sealed investor, as in buy them at around $100 a box or less, sit on them for 5 to 10 years, do your thing, rinse and repeat. Everything got accelerated. Everything got broken. And like I said in the last video, I don't like buying in when the easy money is off the table. That easy double up on Pokemon sealed, if you're just willing to wait a little bit, was one of the safest things out there. And that essentially got removed. And that is what has changed my buying pattern now. That plus the market slowing down. And it's, would I rather buy Phantasmal or Mega at 260 or wait to see what happens with Surging? Hell, even if nothing happened with Surging, I would rather buy Surging in the 230s than the new releases, in my opinion. And if the reprint rumors are true, those are probably going to go even cheaper. The other thing that we're starting to see is the arbitrage on retail releases is shrinking by the day, especially on some of the late Scarlet and Violet sets. I saw it with like Surging ETBs, for example, and some of the others and what I mean by that is that the margin is not there anymore, really. If you're paying 60 to 65, 55 to 65 a pop for an ETB that you're buying off the Target or Walmart shelf, and then you're running to Facebook Marketplace or eBay to flip it, when they're only selling for 80, it's not worth it anymore. By the time you factor in eBay fees and shipping and just the nonsense, what are we really doing here to just make a couple of bucks, or probably in some cases lose money? If you're including shipping, you're definitely losing money on that. Now, maybe you're selling locally, you could squeeze things out here and there, but like, what are you really doing making $5 an ETB? Is that really worth it? For some folks, maybe it is. I'm not going to throw shade on anybody for making $5 on something, but for a lot of people, that'll become less and less viable. They won't want to deal with the headache as much, and that's going to leave product sitting on shelves a little bit more, getting into collectors' hands, but also for the sealed folks like us, potentially opening up buying opportunities to dip our toes back in again. But for right now, I'm on the sidelines, I think. Like I said, I'll choose my spots. If the Pokemon Center queue goes up and I jump in and grab something, absolutely, I'm going to try to buy it. I'll grab a booster box at the 160 price, a Charizard UPC, a Pokemon Center ETB, those sorts of things for sure. If I'm sitting around on a Wednesday and the Walmart links drop and I'm able to get on and grab something that I think is a decent product, I'm going to grab it 100%. But I'm just not going to blindly buy cases at these 250 plus numbers anymore. I don't think. I don't know. I think we're entering a weird phase where things are going to calm down a little bit. I think there's going to be better opportunities for some of this stuff in the future. Now, I continue to hold. Like I said, I've sold off now about $9,000 total in stuff. I still have a decent chunk left, and I do plan on selling more. But now I'm starting, like I kind of sold off the easy to sell stuff, as in like the things that I was least attached to or didn't have as much upside, I thought, in the short to medium term. And now some tough choices are going to have to start being made when I move off of my next batches of things. Do I want to sell a case of Brilliant Stars? Do I want to sell a case of Silver Tempest, Destined Rivals, loose boxes of Chilling Reign, and Lost Origins. I'm not at that point yet. Do I want to sell a sealed case of Crown Zenith ETBs or PC ETBs for Crown Zenith or 151 booster bundles? That would probably be the next thing I moved off of, was 151 stuff, but I kind of want to wait for that to officially be done, and then see what happens to the prices on those. They've been holding pretty steady for the last month or two in the cooldown period. But that would probably be the next thing on my radar to move some of, not all of it, but move some off of. And that's the other thing that I've done, is be very selective on what I've sold. And some of the stuff that I've sold, I haven't completely eliminated my inventory of. I sold part of what I had, not necessarily everything of that particular set or box that I had. Not in all cases, but in some. So I continue to reevaluate that every few weeks. I could take a look, see what's going on, reach out to my people, see if they want anything, and kind of go from there. But that is where I currently sit with the state of sealed Pokemon. I'm going to choose my spots. Not going to get crazy. Not blind buying stuff like I used to. And I'm starting to turn some of this into cash. And like I've talked about in previous videos, my thought is that that's going to be for an Amazing Fantasy 15. And it might be months before I end up buying that. I'm in no hurry, and I'm probably going to want to buy it in person. And my opportunities for that at the end/beginning of the year are pretty limited. I'll probably have to wait until spring. But that's something that I have to kind of build up for anyway, even with moving off of some of this. But I am looking to move into the next collectible piece. The one at the top of the list is an AF-15. So we'll see what happens with that as the journey continues to get potentially into that Grail piece. That's all I got for you, boys and girls. I'm curious in the comments. Let me know where your headspace is at right now with Poke. Are you buying everything blindly still? Are you choosing your spots? Have you been selling? That's what I want to hear. Catch boys and girls on the next one. Peace.